Okay, it looks like I'm struggle streaming already. That can't be good. That cannot be good. But I'm gonna go on ahead and push through it. I don't know why it's acting this way. Struggle streaming. Comment if you could see or hear. Okay, all right. People are popping in. What's up? If you're, excuse me, if you're watching on X, not ecstasy. You said the struggle is real. What's up, y'all? What's up, Elijah? Crystal, what's going on? Y'all do damn. What the views are popping up. All right. Let's get some more likes up in here. What's going on, Elijah? What's going on? Yeah. You can't see and hear me. Okay. What's going on, y'all? What's up? What's up? Let's wait till we get some more views in here, and then we'll go on ahead and talk. Because I'm not happy about a couple of things that we're going to talk about today. Yeah. Yep. Okay. All right, good. All right, we got the whole. Good. That's what I was looking for, was the body cam. Now, I can't show everything in this. Do me a favor, tap the screen, get the likes up. This is not TikTok. I'm so used to saying it that way. But like, whatever the case may be, so that way the algorithms pick it up, because I need this conversation to be bigger than the numbers that I'm seeing right here. Good morning, George. What's going on? What's going on, George? What's going on? What's going on? Let's have some because I'm sorry, just give me a minute. Just going through some stuff administratively. The postal carrier who lost her life was actually your mail carrier. You know, we'll start with that before we get to Sonya Massey. Both situations are very tragic. Both situations are very tragic, but I do have certain questions. I'm trying to wait till at least we get to 100 people watching. I get what you're saying, JFB. What's up, man? What's going on? What's going on? Just indulge me in a minute for the delay. Just indulge me for the delay. What's up, Rock? Y'all see my skydive? I would do it again. You said as a law enforcement officer, there's no defense for that Sandra shooting? Never said there was. And there can't be. It cannot be. The body camera footage. Sign off in the comments if you saw the body camera footage. Sign off in the comments if you saw the body camera footage, because we're going to watch part of it. We can't watch the whole of it because I don't want YouTube to strike the video. No, I get it. I got it. I don't want YouTube to strike the video. You saw the footage? Okay. You all saw the footage? You said you saw it, but it didn't have audio. We're going to watch the one that has audio. We're going to watch the one that has audio. Okay, so let's go on ahead and let me share this. All right, and shouts out to Police Activity, the YouTube page Police Activity, because that's where we're seeing this. You said, I thought they have their own police. What do you mean they? Springfield, Illinois? Yes, they do have their own police, but this wasn't Springfield, Illinois police. This was Sangamon County. This was Sangamon County. So that's what this is. Okay. Sangamon County Sheriff's Office. All right. So here's part of the body camera footage, and we're going to watch it, but I'm going to have to stop it at certain points or at a point because I don't want YouTube to strike the video, because they will do that. Okay. We're going to watch this. I know I said I was going to talk about the post office situation first, but we're going to talk about this and then we'll get to the post office situation. Okay. And I don't know if I want to separate them into two lives. But let's go. Here we go. Now, they got a call about a prowler from her. And this is in Springfield, Illinois, in Sangamon County. I would argue probably more so in Sangamon County than in Springfield, Illinois, because Springfield has their own police.
There's a bike sitting back there.
But I've been to Springfield. I go to Springfield every week. I see Sangamon County all over. So,
I love tapping.
good morning, Arthur.
Search warrant.
I don't know why he would jokingly say search warrant. Or who said search warrant?
319 at contact list because someone threw a brick to it. You want to try and call her 17 back here and let her know we're out front?
10. So the 10 code of 1017 is the complainant. The complainant.
Yes, mess that up good.
I agree, Frank. I agree. Frank, are you the Frank that we worked together before? I hope so. I haven't seen you in a long time, buddy. Man, I haven't seen you in a long time. I hope this is the Frank that I'm
Did
referring
somebody
to.
out walking out with you? No, not when I came in. I didn't see anybody out with you.
Bro, she was. Hey, Gail, what's up?
I hear her phone ringing and she's refusing to come to the door, so we're about to go tonight.
Oh, you're way down south. Okay, yeah, my partner on the department, same name. That's why I thought. We call him 96 up this way. For 96. But I know what you mean. She clearly was 96, but still in all, yeah, it was all bad.
Sheriff's office. Two houses down, I think. Oh no, it's right here. Put the drugs up. Go ahead. She was yelling inside. Still has to hold on. You coming to the door or not? All right, hurry up.
I already don't like his tone. I already don't like his tone. Especially if she's a complainant calling about a prowler. Is that how you treat an alleged or actual victim? Especially if you're doing an investigation. Is this how we treat people?
Sheriff's office, the one you called.
And let's just say she is 96, which is in Illinois, info for a person with mental.
Oh, it hurt you. You called us.
Okay,
so what'd you hear?
Somebody keeps outside my house, y'all. Please.
Is this your car over here?
Please, God, please, God, please.
Is this your car over here? Oh.
Please, God.
That's not your black car in the driveway?
I'm sorry for the delays.
Oh, Well, we checked your yard. We walked around the whole block. We didn't see anybody. Right? You know, we don't. I mean, we checked the whole area. There's nobody out walking around.
I know, y'all.
I don't know if this is a me thing or if it's a YouTube thing.
Please, God, please, God. I'm trying to get help, y'all, but
What do you need help with?
nothing. I just, please, God, please, God, please. I don't know what to do.
Do with what?
Huh?
What do you need help with?
Nothing. I just wanted to see if I could help me.
What do you want help with?
Huh?
What do you want help with?
I heard somebody outside.
Yeah. We checked your house. We checked your backyard. I walked all the way through all these backyards. We checked your front yard.
We didn't see nobody.
Yeah,
So
nobody's out here.
You didn't see anybody?
Nope.
Oh,
Checked the whole area.
okay.
What took you so long to answer the door?
Oh, I was trying to put on some clothes, sir. I'm sorry. I was trying to get.
I got you.
That makes sense. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on today. I don't know.
All right. Is there anything else we can do for you?
Huh?
Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, sir.
Okay.
okay, all right.
You doing all right mentally?
Yes.
Sure.
My medicine and stuff.
All right.
I love y'all. Thank y'all.
All right. That's not your black car, though. SUV? Whose is it?
Mm,
You don't know? If someone just parked it in your driveway?
They brought it to my driveway.
And just left it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's run that.
Yeah. 19, I got a 24.
Does anyone else live here with you?
Somebody else.
David Mary 43556.
You got a name? You got an idea or something? Take your name real quick. Catch this. See who we spoke to.
We're just struggle streaming, so I can't always control that. I agree, Gail. I do agree with that. I do agree. I definitely agree with that.
Simple.
So So here's the problem that I have. Here's the problem that I have right here. Why did he go inside? Like, the call was for a prowler. You did the exterior. She said nothing was going on. Nobody was there. She heard some sounds or whatnot. You would determine that the area was clear. It seemed like it was almost over with. Now you end up inside of the house. It smells like you're fishing for something. You see what I'm saying? Yes. Thank you, Frank. Why put yourself in a position to deal with more than what you need to? It sounds like you're fishing for something. You're already running a 28, which in 10 codes means license plate, vehicle registration. And that's just in Illinois. It could be other states too. David, Mary, whatever. Get your, all right, 28 comes back clear and valid to such and such and such and such out of Springfield or out of whatever. No 27 attached. 29's clear. 27 is the license, not the license, but the driver's license. 29's is any wants or warrants on the person or vehicle. You see what I'm saying? And so you said it seemed like he went in to see how she lives, or if she's crazy to try to get her in the hospital. But he shouldn't have never went in. I agree. Mary, you said, but why is she so fidgety? Why do certain people just not sit still, get their ID or whatever, like later in the video? Well, yes and no. I mean, people have the right, if she has an altered mental status, which is obvious in the video, like, right, it's obvious. Granted, we're not medical professionals, not psychological professionals. I happen to be qualified to assess certain things in the interim, stuff like that, you know, in the behavioral space, right? But it is obvious by her answers, there's something there. Hey, Michelle, there's something there. Now, Michelle asks a very valid question. If they were concerned about her well-being because of her age, would that necessitate going in? I would argue yes and no, because a person has a right to have certain statuses about, we're going to get there to the boiling water. We haven't gotten there yet. We're piecemealing this. We're walking it up. A person has a right to have an altered mental status and to act somewhat offish without us going in and doing too much, because the purpose of the call was a prowler hearing sounds. It wasn't a mental health well-being check. And insofar as what I see here, there's nothing to suggest that we have to make it that. Yes, she took a minute to answer the door, but she clearly explained that away when she said, I was getting some clothes on. That makes sense. That makes sense. Plus, just because someone knocks at the door does not in fact mean they are in fact the police. So a delay in responding to the door does not ipso facto mean that she has a problem. I think that's an absolute when you just dive right to that end. That's a heck of a deep end to dive right into. Let's continue.
Hello?
There's some
Yeah,
organized
I mean,
chaos
I
going
got
on
the
here.
sheriff department here, but I was calling for help from y'all.
But it's her
They're here
organized
in my
chaos.
house right now.
Okay, I'll let you go. You talk to them.
No, hold on, wait a second, sir.
You can hang up, Cottonwell. It's good.
For what? You're there with the deputy, correct?
No, hold on, okay?
You can hang
Hold
up.
on for what?
Just 1 second, okay? Okay.
What's up?
I got some paperwork. Can you grab that Bible, please?
Yeah. Hey, I just need your name so we can get out of here. Was there any damage previous to your car?
Previous, yeah, it
Okay,
was
what was the damage?
a dent, I believe.
What about windows?
Oh, it was something that happened earlier.
Okay, perfect. What is your last name? Shouldn't have to think about your last name. You're not in trouble. I just need to attach.
Massey.
Huh?
Massey.
What happened? You have an ID? That'd make things so much easier. I just need just driver's license will do, and I'll get out of your hair.
I agree, Caprice.
I want to show y'all my paperwork.
I will
What?
get your paperwork.
What paperwork?
Okay. I got some
Y'all do me a favor, tap the
Well,
screen.
Well, just get
lights
your
up.
ID.
Well, let's get your ID first, and
And
then
help get the
One task at a
conversation
time.
going.
Okay, let me
Here, grab your ID for me.
Hold on. Okay.
Your ID. One task at a time. So let's do an ID, and then you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID
you
is.
You
just in
have-
that stack right there, maybe.
1 second.
Check on her.
Let me get this.
We don't need a fire while we're here.
Right. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I would rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Huh?
Rebuke you in the name of
You
Jesus.
better fucking not. I swear to God, I'll fucking shoot you right in your fucking face.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so at this point, I got to stop the video because YouTube is not going to strike my channel. But she went to where the scalding hot water was, and she grabbed it and started to walk towards them. I'd have left. I would have left. So I'm going to narrate what happens in this You already heard what he said he was going to do. I'll shoot you in your effing face. He commences to doing that. I'll rewind it back so you can hear it. Yeah, plenty of distance to back, and the door is still open.
No, we don't need a fire while we're here.
Right.
We back. I don't know what happened. Look. Oh. Oh. Am I back? Can y'all see me? Can y'all see me? The internet, it just took me out in the middle of my stream, baby. Let me know y'all still. It's just like, No, YouTube didn't do it. It wasn't YouTube. It was my internet. Y'all can still see. Okay. All right. Let's get. No, I don't think it was censorship. It might just be my internet. Stop acting up. Yeah. So All right, let's see. Let's see. I'm here. I'm back. I guess the stream didn't stop. I don't know what happened. I'm probably not going to share the video. So y'all seen enough of the video already. So I don't know if it's AT&T, Comcast. I don't know. 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 Damn it, it jumped right back to 72. All right, shit, we're back. All right. I was a little disappointed. Not going to lie. So what are your thoughts? First of all, I'm going to say this. I don't see a reason why he came back into the house. It's clear she has an altered mental status. And it's clear that if you're not going to call a bus or if you're not going to call an ambulance to get her a mental health evaluation, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Does that make sense? What are we doing here? You know? And then the minute she went over to that stove, nothing about going over to the stove would have signaled to me I'm in danger, right? Even her grabbing the scalding hot water, right? Okay. But then when she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, that statement and what's going on, it doesn't connect. It doesn't logically flow. And she had been showing altered mental statuses this entire time. I would have left. Because let's just say you do pull out if she launches the water's still coming your way, you would still have to move. Does that make sense? You would still have to move. So why not just move? Right? Why not just move? How many times have I talked about police officers putting themselves into situations that create a jeopardy to then have a now stated reason to use force? How many times have I talked about that? There is a term called officer-induced jeopardy. Now, is it accepted in the field of law enforcement? No. Is it a thing known amongst trainers and qualified police executive officials? Yes. Is it a term that the courts kind of dealt away with and threw away? Yes. But is it a real thing? Yes. There are officers who put themselves in situations that create a jeopardy. So let's go there from a mental health perspective, because I'm qualified to have that conversation. The certificates and the specializations on my wall qualify me to have that conversation. First of all, let's talk this. This is why I say police officers should take anger management classes, not just for their own personal anger, but to understand behavior, right? You should take nonviolent crisis intervention courses, right? CPI does a great course. I used to be an instructor with them, right? This is why I say that police officers should also take parenting courses. Why do I recommend these 3 at a minimum and many more? Because you need to understand the behaviors of the people that you're going to encounter. Survival, arrest, learning. Survival, arrest, learning. If you think about the brain, right? The primitive or the primal brain, where the amygdala is fight, flight, freeze, fawn, emotions, right? Primitive. Then you've got the evolved brain, right? Where logic and reasoning and the prefrontal cortex is, right? When a person feels triggered and the amygdala starts acting up, they're not doing logical things all the time. So the logical approach that he may have tried to have, which I honestly don't think it was a logical approach. I can honestly say that watching that video from the beginning, it clearly shows that he had a attitude towards her of a superiority complex. Does that make sense? Don't take what I said and then apply the black labels to when people allege that white people are racist. Don't do that to me because I'm black and you think I'm that. No. Take my word for face value and keep it where it is. Don't apply any extra shit to it. Because there is a superiority and an inferiority complex. Does that make sense? There's a superiority and an inferiority complex. Alfred Adler, right? And so I sense a superiority complex mindset and a posture in this approach. Y'all sound off in the comments if you can still hear me. That's what I sense in this. Sound off in the comments. That's what I sense in this. A superiority complex. You were called there for a disturbance, a prowler type situation. And then it turned into what are you fishing for? What are you fishing for? Now, you said that's all cops, though. No, it's not. It's not even close to all cops. Is it a percentage? Yes, what that percentage is, it may vary from department to department, but that's not all cops. And so that absolute thinking, I reject that. But given your name, Elijah Israel, I'm already knowing your posture and your approach in this conversation. That's just like me saying all Hebrew Israelites are highly aggressive in their posture in preaching their message. And to those who reject that message, you all can't take rejection. And so you're super aggressive. Would that be all of you? Because I can guarantee your real birth name isn't Israel. That's your name that you've adopted. Touche. Thank you. There we go. Touche. So that's not all. That's a percentage. And that percentage may vary. Does that make sense? Now, there are a percentage who are aggressive. And then some who are like, look, either they take it or they don't. Either they accept it or they don't. Does that make sense? When you're able to compartmentalize that what I believe may not be what you believe. And we both can coexist without violating each other's spaces and boundaries. You get what I'm saying, Elijah. You get what I'm saying. But I sense a superiority complex in that. And so I know some of you all may want me to get to the shooting and its justification, but we got other issues that we should talk about before we even get to the shooting, because sure, the shooting is unjustified. There's no justification whatsoever that anyone can give who is a reasonable and prudent, rational thinking peace officer that can come up with a reason for this shooting being justified. There's absolutely none. Absolutely none. Except for this person's mindset, their posture in their approach. It seems as though he was fishing for a reason to take enforcement action. For what? The scene had already been secure. If you're concerned about the lady, you're not her name. She has a name. Sonya Massey. Sorry. Indulge me. Right. Miss Massey. If you're really concerned about her, Sangamon County, send me an ambulance here for a mental health checkup. Hey, that's the best you got. You're not qualified to deal with that. And does a person in altered mental status, do they have a right to be free in their persons, in their home, without intrusion from the government? She doesn't seem to be a person who is seeking to delete herself. She doesn't appear, nor did she say anything where it was suicidal ideations. There was nothing to suggest that. She has a right to be in her place and say things you don't like and speak in a manner that is not logical. If a person can't be illogical and act weird in their home, what kind of freedoms do we actually have? And are you the enforcement of the law, or are you the enforcement of societal policies, perceptions, and standards of perceived or actual normalcy? That's not your job. Your job is to enforce the law. And he did not, in fact, enforce that. There was no exigency that was there. There was Chapter 720, Illinois Compiled Statutes, Act 5, Section 7-1, use of force in defense of person. And I quote, a person is authorized to use force to defend themselves. A person is authorized to use force that is necessary to stop someone from imminently attacking you. But you're only authorized to use force likely to cause death or great bodily harm only when you reasonably believe that such force is necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm to yourself, to another, or to prevent the commission of a forcible felony. That's paraphrasing. I can quote it verbatim if you'd like. You're only authorized to use that force. You were not coming under any attack. Now, could she have in fact thrown that water on you? Sure, she could have. Why stay in that distance? Why stay in that? And then to tell her, if you throw that water on me, I'll shoot you in your face, as though the bullet was going to stop the projection of the water. In fact, the bullet would have gone right through the water. You would have still gotten hit with the water. You would have still had to move. You would have still had to move. So if in fact you would have still had to move, why stand there in the first place? Just move. Just move. Does that make sense? So, no. That's nice, Poppy, Wheeze, but that's not true. Her place wasn't that small. And we're going to pull this back up. I'm going to pull it back up. Because her place wasn't that small. That sounds good. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I'll show you to the point. Sorry. You got to produce your own stuff. Oh, perfect. Her place wasn't that small. We can't manufacture circumstances just to fit arguments. He said, if this stays up, I'll catch the replay. Yeah, and the door was wide open. And the door was wide open. So I'm just going to share. I'm going to share it, and then I'm going to show you up to that point. Because when I play it, that's when we get the streaming issues, and I don't have time for that. Her place wasn't that small. Sorry, this wasn't a shotgun house. Plenty of room to maneuver. Facts. That's true. Plenty of room to maneuver. Maybe I'll play it a little bit.
What's your last name? You're not in trouble. I just need to tell you for me.
Okay.
Your ID. One task at a time. So let's do an ID, and then you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID is.
You have over here.
Right. Let me see.
I'm not trying to show that part. I don't want
Get your
you.
ID.
Well, let's get your ID first, and then
One task at a time here.
Okay. Let me
Here, grab your ID for me. Was there any damage previous to your car?
Previous, yeah, it
Okay,
was
what was the damage?
a dent, I believe.
But what about windows?
Oh, it was something that happened earlier.
Okay, perfect.
And you can clearly hear she's both in and out of it, right? So she's in and out of it. You said without the body cam, we only have his word to go. But what do you mean? The body cam is right here. We're watching it. What are we talking about? Are we not seeing the same thing? We're seeing the same thing. So I don't understand what you're talking about. The body camera is right here. Oh, I'm sorry, Shaquille. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Without the body cam, we would only have his word to go by. You're right. I'm sorry, Shaquille. Don't respond. I'm sorry. Like, what you talking about, man? You said, but have y'all ever been rebuked in the name of Jesus, though? It's serious. Albert, you're something else. What's up, buddy? I gotta send you the video of that smash stuff because I don't know if you saw it. I put it up, so I'll send you the video of that. You know how many times I've been rebuked going on calls? I've been rebuked so many times. It's crazy. Let me tell you something. A rebuke does not amount to the level of deadly force. I was trying to show you how much distance there was. Okay, good. Look at where he is, and in the lower, say, left-hand corner, that's where the door is. That's where the door is. There's plenty of room for him to maneuver. Let me continue it up to a certain point.
One task at a time here.
Okay, let me
Here, grab your ID for me.
Okay.
Your ID. One task at a time. So let's do an ID. And then you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID is.
You see that stack right there, maybe?
1 second.
Check on her.
Let me get this.
No, we don't need a fire while we're here.
Right. Let me see. Okay.
All right.
Bam, you see right there. Back it up just a little bit.
Your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I would rebuke you in the name. I don't know where my ID is.
You see that stack right there, maybe?
1 second.
Check on her.
Let me get this.
No, we don't need a fire while
You
we're
see
here.
how close he was to that door?
Okay. Let me see. Okay.
All right.
Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I would rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Rebuke you in the name of
You better fucking not. I swear to God, I'll fucking shoot you right in your fucking face.
Now, is that called for? Is that called for? Is his reaction called for? She rebuked him. Tie my bow tie. Is that called for? Can we say Immanuel Kant's categorical imperative act on a maxim that it could be willed as universal law, right? Is that called for in a civilian or law enforcement context? That his statement that he made is I mean, okay, you could say, you better not be thinking about throwing that water on me. How much time does it take for you to say that? Or simply just back out of there? If, in fact, this person has an altered mental status, which we can assume because of her actions that she does, would she even have the mental capacity to even be able to comprehend the request or the order, you better not throw that water on me or I'll? Does she have the mental capacity to appreciate the value of that statement and act upon that statement and not throw the water? She doesn't have the capacity to understand that. So the best course of action is to speak with your feet and leave. But see, that's part of the problem. And those of you all who've been following me, you've heard me say this a lot. You've heard me say there are police officers who will stand in front of cars that are coming towards them. Stop in the name of the law. It's a car, fool. Just move out of the way. You better not shoot me or else. Move. When you get into this profession and you think your authority is something that everyone is afraid of, you think that your commands are a shield against physical actions because of the consequences of violating the law. Not everyone cares about those consequences. Not everyone can comprehend them. And not everyone will comply. Well, we know what happens after this. You said their badge and authority is not Captain America's shield. We know what happens after this. And right now, he is still in, I would say Marion, that's not correct, Menard County Correctional Center, being detained without bail, facing 3 charges of first-degree murder. Justified for the charges? Absolutely. And he earned every bit of it. Every bit of that charge, he earned it. His approach in this house, his approach to her, clearly shows he had a problem with her. I would be curious to find out, or to want to know, the habits of how many times he's treated people like her. And it doesn't necessarily have to be because she's black. He could have treated alleged white trash the same way that he treated her. Have you been to Springfield? I go there every week. Have you been to Sangamon County? It is very country. It's very country. Like, it's a capital city. It's the capital of Illinois. There's some beautiful things that are there. But there's a lot of country-looking homes, and it would make you think you were down south. It would make you think you were down south. So you got white people who could look and act just like her too. Does that make sense? So I won't say he's that way because she's black. If that's the road you want to take it, that's fine. But I'm curious, is this how he is with people who act just like this? And she called 911 while the sheriffs were there. That's a beautiful thing. It's almost like asking for a supervisor. He should have just left. Job was done. Stop doing too much. Stop fishing for stuff that isn't there. He should have just left. So hopefully they will televise the trial. Yeah, I don't think it's racially motivated. I think he's just an asshole. I think he's just an asshole. I think he suffers from a lot of childhood and adolescent or childhood and teenage trauma. And he is probably one of those officers who needs the job for his self-identity. That doesn't fit every cop, but that definitely seems to fit him. That definitely seems to fit him because he took his authority too far. He took his authority and did way too much than what was necessary. Like Frank said, fix what you're there to fix if you're even able to fix it. And then you're out. Now, Albert, you said Was there a history of mental illness reported at this residence? This would have helped with the approach and the response. Yes, I agree. I definitely agree. And that's a question. Does Sangamon County have a policy, or whatever dispatch center they may use, do they have a policy to let people know about this particular person and whether or not there is, in fact, a history of mental illnesses reported at this residence? It's not hard to do. It's not hard to do at all. It's not hard to do. Officers, be advised, we've received 5 calls for reports of mental illness, and we've had to dispatch the ambulance every time to get this person a mental evaluation. Now, Cynthia, you said at the door, he already said they had done a walk around and they did not see anything or anyone. They should have left at that moment. No, not necessarily, because something could be going on the inside of the house as well. So we have to do not only an exterior check, but we have to check to make sure, especially given that there are lights on, we have to make sure that nothing's going on the inside of the house. So now I'm not surprised they did not leave, but his posture and his tones and his mannerisms suggest that he treated her with the level of, I don't want to say, hey, Ken, what's up, buddy? He treated her with a level of disrespect, unnecessary disrespect. And I'm strategic when I use that word disrespect, because I don't have to like you to do my job. I don't even have to respect you to do my job, but I do have to exercise good manners. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I don't have to like you to treat you as I would want to be treated. I don't have to respect you to treat you as I would want to be treated. The definition of respect is a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by attributes, qualities, and achievements. I don't have to like you or even respect you to treat you as I would want to be treated. I would not want to be treated like this. So respect has nothing to do with it. Hold on 1 minute. Yeah, I don't have to like a person to treat you. You get what I'm saying? I don't have to like you to treat you as I would want to be treated. I just have to treat you as I would want to be treated. And would we want to be treated like how she was treated? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This was horrible. Very horrible. But y'all who could do better, you're not signing up to be the police. So they got who they got. Y'all not signing up to be the police. Y'all heard me say that before. Y'all want the change. Y'all want the change. Y'all want the change, but you're not willing to be the change. You're not willing to sign up. And I don't necessarily fault you, because who would want to be the police, especially in Illinois these days? Ugh. Right? I mean, we still need police, but God, who would want to be the police in Illinois these days? Not me. Not anymore. Well, you know what? You said, I'm still shook on the fact that she called them and this escalated. I'm not surprised this escalated. I'm not surprised this escalated at all. I am not surprised this escalated at all, because if you look at his approach in the house, I got you, Tommy. Give me 1 minute. If you look at his approach in the house, I'm not surprised this escalated. Those of you all who've been to police, have you ever worked with somebody you kind of sensed, we about to be in some bullshit? God damn it. and you just know it's about to go down. You know it's about to go down. And it's like not every officer is strong enough to talk to I don't want to say powerful, but let's go there in argument, because I like to think about things academically. If in fact it's the case, which it is, that there are a percentage of police officers who go into law enforcement because they have childhood and teenage trauma issues that cause them to develop an unhealthy need to be needed that motivates them to get into law enforcement, if they were powerless to resist the childhood and teenage traumas, and they didn't have the strength to develop boundaries and defend themselves, how can they then suddenly develop the courage to tell on, fight off, arrest, talk to a partner who's about to do too much? That partner who's about to do too much and violate the rights of someone is just like the abusive parent that they lived with all these years. They didn't develop the strength to stop that parent. So all of a sudden, with a badge and a firearm, they developed the strength to stop that partner. It doesn't work that way. The battle is psychological first before it becomes physiological. Does that make sense? Well, what would you do if they couldn't defend their parents, defend themselves against their parents? They couldn't defend themselves against the bullies in grammar school, in high school, maybe even college, maybe even in society. But all of a sudden, with a partner who's more of a bully and aggressive, they're supposed to develop the strength to fight that off simply because they're the police now. Being the police doesn't give you healing for your culturally cultivated and family shared and sometimes societally driven chronic traumas that you've been exposed to. In fact, being the police with authority may put more fuel in the fire that could cause you to still be defenseless in certain situations, hyper defensive in others. Yes, Michelle, absolutely correct. Definitely sounded like that officer has had enough of that job, or having a day. He was already angry and annoyed. Yes, it could be a variety of different psychological things that caused him to approach that house the way he did. And those are the issues that need to be addressed before we even get to the unjustified shooting of Miss Massey. Obviously, to me, a trained veteran police officer, she's got psychological, and she's got psychological issues, but not to the point where we need to hospitalize her. Maybe to the point where we just need to let her be and let her hear the sounds. Maybe it was a prowler at the time, but by the time we approached, the prowlers left. Who knows? Maybe she is in fact hearing things, but at the time that we got there, nothing was happening, and that's okay. That doesn't mean go and do too much. Does that make sense? Sound off in the comments. Okay. All right, so that's all that I got on that. How many of y'all want me to talk about the postal worker? Because I got a class I got to teach in a minute. How many of y'all want me to talk about the postal worker who lost her life? I don't want to call her the postal worker. She has a name. She has a name. And I want to say it right. I think her name is Octavia. Could be wrong. Yeah. Okay. I do want to watch this. We're going to watch this and then we'll.
Mail carrier.
All right. Was this mission a couple of days? Yeah, 23 hours ago. Okay. Let's watch this. And then I'll provide my comments and then we'll move on.
In Chicago are demanding more resources to help them stay safe while they're working.
This comes after a woman was shot and killed while working. Joining us live this morning with the latest details for us.
Good morning. The letter carriers rally just wrapped up. There were hundreds of letter carriers here and a real fear about feeling unsafe in some neighborhoods. They are demanding increased security while they're out there, stiffer penalties for crimes, and justice for Octavia Redmond, who was killed last Friday, shot while she was on her route. And they are threatening to not deliver the mail over this. They're grieving the loss of Redmond, a 48-year-old who was on her route, shot multiple times in front of a house midday Friday. Police found a burned-out Dodge Durango believed to be a getaway car. They're looking at doorbell camera video.
Sorry about the
They're asking the public for information. Postal workers want more postal police on the street rather than those officers out there protecting buildings.
This has to stop. This cannot be the norm. Postal workers should be able to come to work and go home like they can. You should not have to come to work looking over your shoulder. You should not have to come to work in fear if you're going to get back to your loved ones. This should not have happened.
We are expecting more from the customers on her route, and she was the fourth regular carrier on this route within 5 years. The previous carriers also had reported aggravated assaults and safety concerns. So why aren't you fired up in your neighborhood?
That's a union steward saying that the calls for help have gone unanswered. Apparently, Redmond's husband is a postal worker, too, suffering this loss. All the postal workers here calling on Mayor Johnson, as well as all Chicago elected officials, to do something. They're grieving the loss.
So let me stop it here. Y'all pretty much got the gist of what's going on. What are your thoughts on this? Sound off in the comments before I provide mine, because I'm going to say something and I'm going to give you a trigger warning. Due to the graphic nature of what you're about to hear, listener discretion is advised. Okay? Sound off in the comments. You all follow me. You already know me. Do you think I should go with my thoughts about this, or should I pause? Okay. I'm going to read your comments and then I'm going to ask your permission. Okay. I can't believe that they have to say postal workers should be able to go to work and come home safe. Are we in a military state? That's valid. Okay. Mecca said, Ken said, I'm ready for the smoke. Mecca said, yep, keep it 100. Okay, so let's go there. I'm going to ask some questions. First of all, thoughts and prayers to Octavia Redmond, who lost her life in this tragic situation. Let that be known, that any loss of life, especially in these circumstances, is tragic. But it didn't have to happen. From what I hear, don't know if this is true or not, but from what I hear, she lost her life allegedly over the refusal to give up some Social Security checks while on the route. I don't know if this is true or not. If in fact it is true and you didn't give it up, if you had to do it again, would you still hold that position? Okay, that's that. I think that's the safe way to approach that statement. Okay? If in fact that's what happened. Don't know. That's why I said allegedly. Number 2 question. Are all United States Postal Service mail carriers under attack in most American neighborhoods? Sound off in the comments. Are most American postal workers under attack in most American neighborhoods? Sound off in the comments. This is not the Chicago Postal Service. This is the United States Postal Service. Vicky said dog bites. Yes, that, definitely. Ken said absolutely not. Joseph Majors said not. Cynthia says nope, not at all. So, if the majority of these carriers are black, and the majority of these carriers work in black neighborhoods, what would make you think the United States Postal Service would fix a black problem? I told you it was going to be controversial what I was going to say. You want everybody else to care about the safety of your neighborhoods but you. You heard what I said. Oh, so now y'all want to run to me and people like or better than me and get concealed carry. Legally, you can't carry that pistol as a postal employee, but let's just say the United States Postal Service said, okay, you can go on ahead and carry your pistol. We'll give you a real good one, a staccato. I hope Albert is still here. You'll appreciate that. We'll give you a staccato and give you some real good training. Real good training. We get Albert, we get me, we get Marquise, we get all the top instructors in Chicago. Matter of fact, we'll get all the instructors, top or not, to hold a United States postal carrier class. And we give 40, 80, 120, 200, 240 hours of nothing but just gun training. Under stress. Under stress. Give you the best of training. Thank you, Dale, for the $10 cash app. But you get what I'm saying, Albert. We give you the best of training. And Staccato, as a company, donates the pew-pews. You're still just one person. And your mind is distracted on delivering the mail. You won't even see the attack coming. You're by yourself. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And you happen to be delivering a mail or mail in a community that does not care. This is a community issue, not the United States Postal Service's issue. The community is trash. And you're delivering mail in a war zone. What did you think was going to happen? You're delivering mail in a war zone. What did you think was going to happen? You're carrying things that have value. You're going to come under attack. It's a mitigated risk or an accepted risk, assumed, I'm sorry, not a mitigated, it's an assumed risk. And there's really nothing you can do to mitigate it except the community decides to stand up and protect the carriers. There's nothing the postal inspectors or postal police can do to protect a community that consumes and eats its young. A community that sits there and destroys the dreams of children through the parents. And you want the Postal Service to protect you. Not gonna happen. You want Glock to protect you. Not gonna happen. Maybe, just maybe, you'll have a 25, 30, 35% of a shot. You wouldn't be able to draw that firearm fast. Some of you walk on the routes and you're doggone near deleted from dehydration. You're out of shape. You're out of motivation. Where would you put the gun? In your titty? How you gonna get to it with the mailbag slung across you? You're not prepared. How many of the people in the streets on foe and them sitting at home not doing nothing? Guess what they could be out doing? Protecting you while you carrying the mail. Why they not riding behind you while you on your route? There's other ways that the community or some of your relatives who bout that life could help you. Oh, let me guess. When he turned to the streets, you put him out on the streets. Got it. That's why he robbing you now. Talk so much shit about your baby daddy. Your baby daddy, when he can't find a job, he could have a job protecting you. But you don't see it that way. You so independent, yet you don't have nobody out there to protect you. And I know respectfully she had a husband. He was on his own route. So if you got a protector, you got a provider. He can't be everywhere all the time. So what you gonna do, baby? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You really ain't with the shits. You thought because you picked up a Glock, you cocked? You ain't with the shits. These people are more motivated than you. They're ready. And you somehow think because you took a 16-hour concealed carry class that you bout that life. You're not even close. And they didn't stop making pew-pews when you got yours. And if you would have lost those checks, the United States government would have printed out new ones. This is a community issue, not a United States Postal issue. United States Postal Service is not going to give Black life any more value than the Black community gives the life that they say matters. And if you really give a damn, the community should be standing up to protect the carriers. The carriers are delivering the mail that you count on. And if the community is not going to stand up, then why should the Postal Service? But when you're in the habit of relying on the government, I'm not surprised you make these arguments that the government should protect you. Or what? The same government you allege is racist? The same government you allege don't care about Black people? Then why should they care about you delivering the mail that they know they can replace? So I say again, thoughts and prayers to mail carrier Octavia Redmond. She didn't deserve to lose her life. This is a community issue, not the post office issue. Our communities eat and victimize each other. She just caught a stray from a community that gives lives away. If Black death is a hustle, Black folks push that hustle. You ain't gotta like me. I say what you're thinking. This is Instructor Mike, and you've been trained. What are your thoughts? Sound off in the comments. I gotta go teach this class. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna do some pew stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, support the channel, all that great stuff. We back. We're going to be doing more streamings. Sorry I wasn't doing a lot of streamings. Y'all see your boy is getting smaller, right? I'm jumping out of planes and stuff, right? Doing small guy shit. So, Tony, what's up, Tony? You said, why is there so much hate between each other in the Black community? Why can't you love, care, respect, hug, and help each other? Because they're so busy talking about how much of a victim they are instead of looking at the resources and the things that we do have and learning what we already have in our grasp. We're so busy worried about Trump and Kamala Harris that your kid is asking for you to read a book to them. You got women and men fighting over submission and who's the better, who's got the fatter this, the longer that. Your kids are not being tended to. You say there's no manual for parenting when there's a whole bunch of books on parenting, but you don't like to read. Okay, screw it. There's audio books you can listen to on parenting. If the parenting situation doesn't change, nothing in our community changes. Because it's the kids, it's the teenagers out here doing this. It says the child not embraced by the village will burn it to feel its warmth. That's what this is. The children are not being embraced by the village and they're burning it down to get your attention. All behavior is goal-oriented and communication. And even with you losing your cars, even with you losing your lives, even with things being attacked that previously wasn't being attacked, you're still not listening. And because you're still not listening, they're going to keep on going until you do. They're going to attack the very things you value. Suffice it to say, some of those checks, if that statement is in fact true, that she lost her life because they didn't give up that check. Suffice it to say, some of those checks were probably because you put your kid on SSI when they don't have a mental health issue. You got your kid labeled with ADHD when they don't have a mental health issue. You value your materials and your cars more than your children, so they're taking what you value to get your attention, and you're still not listening. But you think you're going to come to my class and think you're going to get a gun and say, I'm ready, because they need to be locked up. This generation is lost. But this generation is only lost because of the lost people before it. Since the white man gave you access to things, you forgot that you still got to teach. And now you just entertain and blame. And you somehow think that these children are lost, but you didn't teach them nothing. And then you wonder why. Trump can't fix you. Kamala Harris can't fix you. Biden can't fix you. The United States Postal Service can't fix you. You gotta fix you. You have to evolve. Because crime is fun. Oh, come on. These kids are out here having fun. Crime is fun. Now that jail sentence ain't fun, but they're not thinking about that. They're not thinking about jail when they live in one. They're not thinking about jail when they live in one. They're not thinking about jail when they live in one. They're not thinking about jail when they live in one. Some of your homes are absolute jails. So please don't invite them to a good time talking about you gonna go to prison. What you value don't relate to them. When they live in a prison, what is Stateville Correctional Center? when they live in prison, what is Stateville Correctional Center? Stateville Correctional Center, Pontiac Correctional Center, Menard Correctional Center, Logan Correctional Center, Lincoln Correctional Center, might as well be 6900 South Jeffrey. Madison in this, Leamington in that, Euclid in that, Yates in this. That might as well be your addresses. You threaten them with jail and they live in one. So keep thinking the USPS gonna protect you. You better get out there and deliver that mail. And if you don't deliver that mail, trust me, we'll get somebody else. All right, I'm done. I gotta get to teaching. Thank you, Dale, for the Cash App. Appreciate that donation. Anybody else who want to donate and support the channel, appreciate that. Gail, I appreciate you as always. As an awesome moderator. Y'all go check out Gail at Knight's channel, stuff like that. You said positive fathers are extremely important in the lives, in children's lives and mothers. We must do better as examples. I agree. I absolutely agree. Do better as examples and as teachers. Be honest and say you don't know. Seek out the help from those who do. Seek to evolve. Give yourself grace. Don't shame yourself for what you don't know. Cast off cultural cultivations of toxicity. Because I'm going to tell you this, Black culture, I'm not talking about Black history. I'm not talking about Black history, but Black culture these days, extremely toxic. It produces a lot of toxic. Just look at the outcomes. Look at the outcomes and the outputs. The culture doesn't cultivate the language of togetherness. The culture doesn't cultivate the language of going and evolving as a person. Oh, it will definitely promote therapy, but therapy seems like help because that's all you're doing is talking. But if you're not learning, you're not evolving. And your children are still growing. Their body is growing, but their mind is stuck. Their body is growing, but their mind is stuck. And if their mind is stuck, they're fucked. All right, y'all. Sign up in the comments. What do you think? I'm glad this live still stayed up. Glad I was able to pop back in. Still had that conversation. This is Instructor Mike. You've been trained. See you on the next one. Let's go.